Good evening, opera stands, fans, and newcomers alike, and welcome to Ootoberfest, or if you prefer, Ootoberfest, or if you still would rather something different, Ootoberfest 2021, the latest virtual rendition of Opera on Tap Houston's annual fundraising concert. I'm your host, MC Ramin Chaharbagi, and I'll be walking us through a bevy of fabulous pre-recorded performances by local Houston talent, as well as some fantastic merchandise available to those who participate in our auction raffle, but more on the raffle portion later. For now, I have a feeling that some of you newest of newcomers might be wondering about what exactly this is all about. For those not in the know, Opera on Tap is the largest international network of opera professionals in the world. Founded in 2005 in New York, Opera on Tap was designed to shatter norms and expectations around what opera really is, pulling it out of the concert hall and into your local bars, restaurants, and other more casual venues. We at your local Houston chapter of Opera on Tap strive to make opera more accessible and comfortable for all audiences, and thanks to the generosity of our fantastic audience, since 2018, we've offered performances from Tomball to downtown Houston. Even after the pandemic hit, your generosity helped us to not only continue to provide classical music experiences to the World Wide Web, but to even thrive beyond that, empowering us to begin to pay every artist who sings for Opera on Tap Houston their fair share. And tonight, we celebrate those successes again, while also asking once more for your continued support. As a nonprofit organization, we provide a service not only to our local Houston community, but now to the World Wide Web, and every cent we receive in donations goes directly toward paying Houston-based artists who continue to provide classical music experiences to everyone. Tonight's fundraiser also features generously donated items from local Houston businesses, including Tonality, the Axstone, Metal Rabbit Studio, the Houston Chamber Choir, and the Houston Cider Company. Periodically throughout the evening, we will be holding raffles for each of these items, which you may bid on via Venmo donations. Check out the comments for more info about how to donate. We'd also like to thank our performers tonight, including Stacey Franklin, James Chamberlain, Sarah Neal, Luisana Rivas, and pianist Andrea Moot. And an extra special thanks goes out to Marvin Gaspard and St. Luke's Presbyterian Church for generously offering a space in which to record. With that said, you didn't come to hear me blather, you came to see a show. Let's get it started. Our first piece will also kick off the first of 5 raffles for the evening. Here's Anna with some more information.
Our first excellent prize that you can win tonight is a pair of treble clef earrings made by Stone Jewelry. Stone was started by a friend of mine, Ruby. She is amazing. You should follow her on Facebook and Instagram to check out all the fantastic jewelry that she's making. And she has very wonderfully created these earrings for us. The winner will be able to choose between black, blue, or pink treble clefs. So if you are interested in winning the treble clef earrings from Stone, please donate now, and over the next 2 pieces, you can Venmo me at Anna Deemer. I will be tabulating the results and randomly pulling a winner at the end of the night. So if you are interested in winning these earrings, donate at least $10 to at Anna Deemer on Venmo.
Thanks so much for that, Anna. Now on with the show, but before the first piece, I'd like to give you a little bit of information. Composer Jacques Offenbach's Tales of Hoffmann isn't exactly the most rational opera, as it follows the titular Hoffmann through 3 separate short stories, originally written by German author E.T.A. Hoffmann. But it's certainly a fun and spectacular opera. Each act follows a separate story that is loosely connected, from the first act's focus on a bizarrely human-like robotic doll to the second act's focus on a sickly songstress. But this next duet is taken from the opening of the third act. Here, Hoffmann finds himself in Venice, where the first sounds heard are the sung barcarolle of the famous gondoliers of the city. You see, most barcarolles are sung in 6/8 meter, That's just a fancy way of saying that if you think oom papa as the music plays, you'll typically be in time with the tune. Performing one of the most beloved duets in opera, Belle Nuit aux Nuits d'Amour. Please enjoy the singing of Anna Diemer and Luisana Rivas. Thanks, you two. That was beautiful. On to our next piece. Gaetano Donizetti is often considered one of the greatest dramatists among operatic composers of the 1800s, not only thanks to his compositional style, but also because he chose stories that were intrinsically dramatic, worthy of being retold. One such tale is the story of Anne Boleyn, the troubled second wife of King Henry VIII. Donizetti's operatic retelling of her life largely focuses upon quarrels over Anne's love, primarily between King Henry and Anne's first love, Henry Percy. Weird that she always falls for Henry's, huh? Anyway, unbeknownst to all of them, Anne's page boy, Smeaton, also has something of a crush on Anne, and has actually stolen a locket with her picture on it. This role is also what we in the opera world call a pants role, which means a woman plays the role of a young man. Although such a gender swap might be viewed as unusual or even groundbreaking today, at the time when this opera was written, pants roles weren't unusual at all and were something of an operatic tradition. Performing the young page boy's impassioned aria is Grombro il Loco. Please welcome mezzo-soprano Sarah New.
Dove alcuna me qui
Wow, talk about some vocal fireworks. The end of this next piece will also mark the end of the raffle on those fantastic earrings, so if you haven't put your bid in yet for the VX Stone earrings, we highly encourage you to do so before these last notes of this next selection. Dreams Americanos is a one-act chamber opera based loosely on Cyrano de Bergerac. This bilingual opera, sung in English and Spanish, is rooted in the contemporary immigrant experience. Set in a busy restaurant, it traces the loves and losses of vibrant young people who are striving to build their version of the American dream. At its core, Dreams Americanos features a classic love triangle with Dani, a queer singer-songwriter recently arrived in Guatemala, falling for Maddie, a literature major at the local university. Christian, the lovable but sometimes brash barman, is also a student at the university. Dani bonds with both of these new friends, secretly falling in love with Maddie while at the same time writing love songs that Christian will sing to Maddie. Eventually, Dani can only watch as the songs she has written, filled with her love, are used to unite Christian and Maddie. This aria from scene 3 expresses the core of Dani's love for Maddie. Throughout the scene, Dani has been helping Christian woo Maddie, feeding him melodies and words of love from behind the bar, which Christian then delivers to Maddie. At this point, Dani takes over and sings directly to Maddie. This aria is a Spanish-language reworking of Shakespeare's Sonnet 105, and this performance represents something of a premiere. That's right, you are the first ears to hear this selection. Performing Dulce, Fiel y Bella, please welcome back mezzo-soprano Luisana Rivas.
Our second prize tonight is a custom t-shirt made by Tonality, and it says, "I don't always sing." Oh wait, yes I do. Tonality was founded by my very good friend and colleague Paige Martinez. She actually designed this shirt that I am wearing right now with the wonderful Ruth Bader Ginsburg, rest in peace. You can find my friend Paige and Tonality on Instagram and Facebook to get more of her other designs, or to win our custom Opera on Tap singing shirt. You can make a minimum donation of $10 to me at Anna Deemer on Venmo. I am compiling the donations for tonight, and all of the money will go directly towards paying our musicians and making sure opera continues.
Thanks, Anna. Wow, that t-shirt is super cute. Now, I know that when I tell you the next aria is called Total Eclipse, many of you will show your age by immediately launching into your own karaoke version of Bonnie Tyler's 80s power ballad. But please, try to find some restraint. This Total Eclipse is in fact an aria from Handel's oratorio, Samson, based on the biblical story of the hero, Samson. Unlike an opera, which is a staged work including costumes, a set, and all the trappings of a modern Broadway musical, an oratorio is, at least these days, usually less staged and often more sacred in nature. For example, Messiah is an oratorio featuring the famous Hallelujah chorus, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, etc., etc. Incidentally, Messiah is also by Handel, who was known for his ability to invoke high drama in his oratorios. In this next moment of Samson, the title character laments his fate, to be blinded after he was betrayed by the woman whom he thought he loved, the treacherous Delilah. Singing Total Eclipse, but of the eyes, not the heart, please welcome tenor James Chamberlain. Whew, talk about a robust voice, huh? If you're interested in that super cute tonality shirt, we suggest you get onto your bid ASAP by donating that minimum of $10 to @AnnaDiemer on Venmo. That's @ANNADIEMER if you're interested in that t-shirt, because our next performance includes 2 consecutive songs, and at the end of the second song, that will mark the end of the raffle for the shirt as well. Don't wait for the final cadence. The next 2 pieces on our program tonight are the first examples of art songs. I like to think that art songs are the classical music equivalent of singles or even pop songs off of a pop album. You see, unlike music from an opera or oratorio, which is connected to a larger dramatic work involving a broad plot, setting, and characters, an art song is simply a previously written poem that is later set to music by a composer. It's really not far off from the songwriting process of most modern pop songs that you'd hear on the radio. Although, unlike those songs, it's usually written just for piano and voice. The next 2 songs were written by Austrian composer Hugo Wolf, whose eclectic style is characterized by broad contrasts and incisive musical gestures. The first song, Die Sprode, tells of a fickle, playful, and silly shepherdess who sings and dances past her many courtiers. The second song presented here in some ways is the opposite of the first, telling of the loss of love as a mysterious young man plays his flute for a young woman before fleeing, leaving her to lament, alone. Performing Die Sprode and Die Bekehrte by Hugo Wolf, welcome soprano Stacy Franklin.
The next prize you can win is a case of hard cider from the Houston Cider Company. That's right, a case. I believe that is 24 cans of their very delicious cider. Houston Cider Company has been a big supporter of us. They have hosted a show for us. They created a cider just for us called Soprano's Revenge for one of our shows last spring. We are very grateful for their support and absolutely love drinking their cider. So if you are interested in drinking their cider yourself, if you're not the winner of tonight's prize, their tap room is open for drink in and pick up on Saturdays and Sundays from 12 to 5. Or if you'd like a chance to win this case of cider, you can donate at least $10 to me at Anna Deemer on Venmo for a chance to win. I will randomly select at the end of the show.
Thanks for that, Anna. I know I could use that cider in my life. Our next selection is by Venezuelan composer Modesta Bor. Her career spanned the mid-20th century, and her works included several pieces for voice and piano, including this art song about the setting sun, with words by Pachito Lares. Performing the plaintive and beautiful Rojo, please welcome back mezzo-soprano Luisana Rivas. That was beautiful. Thank you, Luisana. If you absolutely need that cider, then you have until the end of this next aria to place your bid by donating a minimum of $10 to Anna Deemer on Venmo. That's at ANNADIEMER on Venmo. At minimum of $10 for that cider. Don't delay. When it comes to opera, most people think of big, bombastic music with larger-than-life sets and costumes, and as far as those expectations are concerned, Richard Wagner's operas do not disappoint. Although Wagner himself had some quite questionable beliefs that are rather problematic in hindsight, there's no question that his music is powerful, and hearing a singer perform his mammoth works at deafening decibel levels is earth-shatteringly impressive. Most of Wagner's works were inspired by mythology or literature. In the case of this next aria from the opera Lohengrin, medieval German literature and the tale of the Holy Grail. In this aria, the title character, Lohengrin, a knight of the Holy Grail, defies a taboo by revealing his identity to the other characters, telling the tale of the Grail itself at the opera's climax. Performing Infernum Lant, please welcome tenor James Chamberlain.
Ein Licht Augen fliehn. Des Rätsels Ruhm sollt pfeifen ihr nicht hegen, erkennt ihr ihn, dann muss ich von euch ziehen. Nun hört, wie ich verbotene Frage lohne, von Rhein ward ich zu euch daher gesandt. Mein Vater Parzifal trägt seine Krone, sein Ritter ich bin Lohengrin genannt.
Our next prize this evening is 2 prints from Metal Rabbit Studios. Metal Rabbit Studios is owned by Mikkel Boston, and she has very graciously donated these 2 prints, one of a person in a flower crown and one of a beautiful black and white cat. I know a lot of you opera fans are also cat fans, so here's your chance to win these 2 lovely prints. Donate within the next 2 pieces, a minimum donation of at least $10 to me on Venmo at Anna Deemer. And again, I will randomly select a winner at the end of the show.
Thank you, Anna. I highly recommend bidding on those paintings. I strongly recommend Metal Rabbit Studio at any time. They're one of my favorite studios in town. Moving on with the show, not all sources of inspiration for operas are as obscure to the average modern American audience as Lohengrin's source is. In fact, the next aria is taken from an operatic retelling of Shakespeare's famous tragedy, Romeo and Juliet, although this moment of the opera isn't one that many people might recall from the play. As some of you may know, Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy mainly because the 2 main characters' love is hindered by a rivalry between their families, the Montagues and the Capulets. However, in this French rendition, that latter family is called the Capulets, and in this aria, Romeo's page, Stefano, makes a grand showing of taunting the Capulets, warning them to guard their beauty well in a veiled effort to attract an audience in anticipation of a street duel. Stefano is also another example of a pants role, usually sung by a woman in drag. Performing Que fais-tu, Blanche Tourterelle? Please welcome back mezzo-soprano Sarah Nee. Fantastic job, Sarah. If you'd like those beautiful prints from Metal Rabbit Studio, reminder, you have until the end of this next song to place your bid by visiting Venmo at Anna Deemer. That's ANNADIEMER. Donating a minimum of $10 will place your name into the raffle for those fantastic prints. Don't wait long, this next piece is short. Composer Alberto Ginastera was known for using elements of the traditional music of his homeland, Argentina, in his works. Fans of tango, a traditional Argentine style of music and dance, might be familiar with another composer, Astor Piazzolla, who was one of Ginastera's students. In this next art song, Ginastera utilizes the 6-beat pattern of samba. That's samba with a Z, not to be confused with samba with an S. Spanish-speaking audience members will know that both Z and S are usually pronounced the same way in Spanish. Try to count to 6 repeatedly as you listen to this piece. It's a fun challenge to do so against the syncopated, off-kilter rhythms in the piano. Performing Abismo de Sed, please welcome back mezzo-soprano Luisana Rivas.
Our final prize this evening, this is the big shebang, is season tickets to the Houston Chamber Choir to the rest of their season. Their season has already started, but they have donated us season tickets to the rest of the season. The Houston Chamber Choir is a Grammy Award-winning organization founded by Bob Simpson in 1995. They are still going strong. Our co-managing diva, Ramin Chaharbaghi, sings with them, and I have been to their performances before, and they are absolutely fantastic. So if you are interested in winning tickets to the rest of their season, these are 2 in-person shows. Please donate within the next 3 pieces. Go ahead and Venmo me a minimum donation of at least $10 during the next 3 pieces, and after that I will tabulate the results and announce the winners, so stay tuned.
Thanks so much, Anna. Sometimes there's this unspoken idea among classical singers that art songs are easier than arias, which are considered more showy and virtuosic. Yes, that's right, I'm calling all y'all classical singers out. You know that this is true. But this next art song by Richard Strauss lays that misconception about art songs being too easy firmly to rest. Written as something of a study or a test for one of the most difficult and highest soprano roles in the repertoire from my favorite opera, Ariadne auf Naxos, this art song demands quite a bit from the soprano, who with extremely florid, angular vocal lines and challenging rhythmic structures. Performing the glittering Amor, please welcome back soprano Stacey Franklin. Ooh, usually I recommend drinking on every high note, but I didn't want to be accused of leading anyone to a quick death of alcohol poisoning tonight, so I didn't for that one. But congratulations, Stacy. Well done. What languages come to mind when you think of opera? I imagine Italian is among them, and perhaps German, French, and even English, but operas exist in nearly every language, including Spanish, and in the case of this opera from this next aria is from, Czech. Written by Czech composer Antonín Dvořák, Rusalka tells the fairy tale of the title character, a water nymph, and is remarkably similar to Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, right down to the deal made for a landlocked prince. Sadly, unlike in the Disney version of that tale, the happy couple does not remain happy for long, and their relationship goes south when the prince betrays her, a mistake that later fills him with grief and regret. Although it's in Czech, Rusalka does utilize many of the same traditions as other operas, including the pants role. Here, a young kitchen servant boy seeks help for the now forlorn prince, offering up an unusual, even slightly comical aria in a show full of little else but sadness. Singing Nasz princ Czeszce stunie przewielicze. Please welcome back mezzo-soprano Luisana Rivas.
Nasz princeś stunie przewielicze. O, rano na serce jeho, jaka zmarcenicy. Przywycili na wrat przeligaj. Jako wlasny żywot za nimi pal. Jego żemną byłaby se stala, byłaby se stala. Ale grozna pędzelnicy z wami nie doczkała. Ale grozna pędzelnicy z wami nie doczkała. Prince, gdyż pójdź wpadła do cyla, niewierna do pędzelnicy zmierzła. Celi gracie kowlec mamę podnies, Damel sam do pędzelnicy.
Fantastic and fascinating as always, Luisana. Thank you. Although Rusalka may be dark, few operas are quite as intense as Puccini's Tosca. This Italian drama is part of the larger Verismo movement within Italian opera, a late romantic movement that emphasized gritty realism and real-world scenarios over the more common subject matters of past operas, which had usually centered on mythology or nobility more so than the common man's struggles. In Tosca, the protagonist, Mario Cavaradossi, works to assist a political refugee in escaping to freedom, but is foiled by the wicked villain Scarpia. In this next aria, as he awaits his own execution, Mario reflects on his happier memories, exclaiming in his final phrases, "I die in desperation, and never have I lived and loved life more." Performing the emotional E lucevano le stelle and one of my favorite tenor arias, please welcome back tenor James Chambers. All I can say after that is bravo, James. Bravo. With that, we are now closing our final raffle for the evening. Stick around until the end of the show to find out who our lucky winners are. You won't be waiting long. Although most of the images of opera singers in popular culture make us out to be uppity and snobbish, that's really only true for me. The truth is that opera singers are some of the most flexible vocalists around. Our training emphasizes utilizing our voices to maximum efficiency in multiple contexts, including musical theater. This next number is the only show tune on our program tonight and is taken from Tessori and Kron's musical Fun Home, one of very few American musicals centered on a lesbian love story. As a heads up, this song, while very fun, isn't appropriate for young ears. So for those of you who might have kiddos nearby, I highly suggest that you find another place for them to be. It is, however, the perfect example of an opera singer kicking her shoes off and flexing her Broadway muscle, performing Changing My Major. Please welcome back mezzo-soprano Sarah Nee.
What happened last night? Are you really here? Joan, 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 Joan. Hi, Joan! Don't wake up, Joan! Oh my God, last night. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, last night. I got so excited, I was too enthusiastic. Thank you for not laughing. Well, you laughed a little bit at one point when I was touching you and said I might lose consciousness, which you said was adorable, and I just have to trust that you don't think I'm an idiot or some kind of an animal. I've never lost control due to overwhelming lust, but I must say that I'm changing my major to Joan. I'm changing my major to sex with Joan. I'm changing my major to sex with Joan, with a minor in kissing Joan. Foreign study to Joan's inner thighs, a seminar on Joan's ass in her Levi's, and Joan's crazy brown eyes. Joan, I feel like Hercules. Oh God, that sounds ridiculous. Just keep on sleeping through this and I'll work on calming down, so by the time you've woken up, I'll be cool, I'll be collected, and I'll have found some dignity. But who needs dignity? 'Cause this is so much better. I'm radiating happiness. Will you stay here with me for the rest of the semester? We won't need any food. We'll live on sex alone. Sex with Joan. I am writing a thesis on Joan. It's a cutting-edge field and my mind is blown. I will gladly stay up every night to hone my compulsory skills with Joan. I will study my way down her spine, familiarize myself with her well-made outline, while she researches mine. I don't know who I am. I've become someone new. Nothing I just did is anything I would do. Overnight, everything changed. I am not prepared. I'm dizzy, I'm nauseous, I'm shaky. I'm scared. Am I falling into nothingness or flying into something so sublime? I don't know, but I'm changing my major to Joan. I thought all my life I'd be all alone, but that was before I was lying prone in this dorm room bed with Joan. this room. How about we stay here till finals? I'll go to school forever. I'll take out a dementedly huge high-interest loan. 'Cause I'm changing my major to John.
Thanks so much for that, Sarah. From the bottom of our hearts, we'd like to thank everyone who tuned in tonight, the businesses that donated their fantastic works, and of course our performers without whom none of this would be possible. But more on that later, because we do have one last catty duet to share with you. This one speaks for itself, lyrics included. Enjoy the Duetto Buffo di Due Gatti, sung by Anna Deemer and Stacey Franklin.
Oh my goodness, that duet was so much fun to sing. Thank you again, Stacey, for being a cat with me. All right, I am here live to announce the winners of all of the raffle prizes tonight. So first up, actually, this would be good to know. If you are a winner of a prize, you can reach out to me at anna@operaontap.com via email, and I will also comment on your Venmo that you Venmoed me, so you'll have multiple ways to find me so that we can make sure you get your prizes. And now here we go. Big drum roll. The first winner of the earrings from Bowstone is Katie Payne. Congratulations, Katie. I will be reaching out to you to see if you want pink, blue, or black for your treble clef earrings. Next up is the t-shirt. I don't always sing, oh wait, yes I do. This one is going to my dad, Donald Deemer. Maybe he intended to give it to me, but I think I'm going to get it in his size and make him wear it. He does not sing at all. So congrats, Dad. Love you. Thank you for supporting what we do. The case of hard cider from Houston Cider Company goes to Bradley McCaslin. Brad will be enjoying many beverages coming up soon. The fourth prize, our art prints, go to David Tallman for the beautiful flower crown lady and the cat. And finally, our season tickets to the, I almost said Houston Cider Company again because we have all this HCC this, HCC that.
They are the same.
I would also get season tickets to the cider as well as to the Houston Chamber Choir. These tickets will be going to Rick Lehman. So congratulations to all of our winners. Thank you to everyone that donated who is helping make opera possible. We really hope that we'll be able to bring you in-person shows when it is safe very soon. And again, a huge, huge, huge thank you to our fantastic vendors for this raffle. Bowstone, Tonality, Houston Cider Company, Metal Rabbit Studio, and Houston Chamber Choir. I got it right that time. Thanks y'all so much.
Once again, we also want to thank all of our performers, Stacey Franklin, James Chamberlain, Sarah Neal, Luisana Rivas, and of course, Andrea Moot, as well as Marvin Gaspard and St. Luke's Presbyterian Church for the generous donation of your beautiful space for our recording. Without your support and the support of our fabulous audience, none of this would be possible. It's thanks to the support of our community that we've been able to continue to provide classical music, musical theater, and more to Houston and now the entire internet. Please be sure to follow Opera on Tap Houston on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for updates regarding our upcoming performances, including a winter concert in December. For now, we will see you at the opera.